My friends, if you are on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, and I mean right now, today, I need you to stop what you are doing and watch this video all the way through, because what starts on March 7th, 2026 could directly affect how you get help with your benefits, how long you wait on hold, and whether your claims get processed the way you expect them to. This is not a scare tactic. This is not clickbait. This is a real official change happening inside the Social Security Administration. And the frustrating truth is, most seniors have absolutely no idea it's coming. I want you to imagine this for a moment. You're sitting at home, and your February check looks a little different than you expected. Or maybe you just filed a new claim and you're waiting on an appointment. Or perhaps you've been trying to sort out an issue with your SSDI, and you've been calling your local office because they know you, they know your state's rules, and they've always been able to help. Well, starting March 7th, that familiar local connection is changing in a major way. And today I'm going to sit right here with you and explain every single thing you need to know. The good, the concerning, what you need to do before March 7th, and how to protect yourself and your monthly income, no matter what. Let's start with the basics, because I want to make sure we're all on the same page before we dive into the details. The Social Security Administration, the SSA, is rolling out two brand new systems on March 7th, 2026. They are called the National Appointment Scheduling Calendar, which you might hear referred to as the NASC, and the National Workload Management System, also known as the NWLM. Now, I know those sound like a mouthful of government alphabet soup, so let me break it down in plain English. Right now, when you have an issue with your benefits, whether you're filing a new claim, appealing a decision, or just trying to get a question answered, you typically contact your local Social Security field office. That local office has employees who know your state. They know the local rules. They know the regional nuances that can make a real difference in how your case is handled. If you live in Texas, you talk to someone who knows Texas. If you live in Ohio, you get someone who understands Ohio's processes. That personal local connection has been the backbone of how Social Security has operated for decades across more than 200 field offices nationwide. Starting March 7th, that changes. Under the new system, when you call in for an appointment or need a task handled, the SSA will route your request through a centralized national system. That means the person handling your appointment or reviewing your case may not be at your local office at all. They could be across the country to someone trained on the general national rules but potentially unfamiliar with your specific state's requirements or regional considerations. Your appointment will be scheduled through the National Appointment Scheduling Calendar instead of through the office down the street, and the work involved in processing your case will be distributed among staff nationwide based on whoever has capacity, not necessarily someone who has experience with cases like yours. The stated reason for all of this comes down to one word: efficiency. The SSA has been dealing with significant staffing reductions, and by centralizing the system, they hope to balance workloads more evenly across the country and reduce the backlogs that have frustrated so many of you for years. And honestly, if it works the way they're promising, that could be a good thing. But here's what the experts and even current Social Security employees themselves are concerned about. And I think you deserve to hear both sides. Here's where I have to be straight with you, because that's what we do here. While the SSA is framing this as a modernization effort, many people who work inside the system and advocates who fight for seniors' rights are raising serious red flags. The biggest concern is the loss of local expertise. Think about a veteran SSA employee in your city who has spent 15 years helping people in your area navigate complex disability claims, spousal benefit questions, and survivor applications. That person knows the specific rules that apply to government workers in your state. They know the local quirks. They know what documentation is required and what shortcuts can help your case move faster. Under this new national system, there's genuine worry that you might end up connected with someone who has never dealt with a situation like yours before, and that could slow things down considerably or worse, lead to mistakes. Current SSA employees have also expressed concern that this transition will create confusion during the rollout period. Anytime you move an organization of this size from a local model to a national one overnight, there are going to be bumps in the road. And for seniors who depend on their monthly checks to pay the rent, buy groceries, and keep the lights on, those bumps can feel like mountains. There are also reports suggesting that field office visits are expected to drop significantly in 2026. Some estimates say as much as 50%, as the SSA pushes more interactions online and through automated systems. That's a real challenge for seniors who are less comfortable with technology or who live in areas with limited internet access. If you've been relying on walking into your local office and talking to a real person face to face, that experience is going to become harder to access. Now, I want to be clear. The March 7th changes do not affect your benefit amounts. Your monthly check is not being cut. Your eligibility rules are not changing. Your payment dates are not shifting because of this update. This is purely an administrative change to how the SSA processes claims and schedules appointments. But because so many of you have pending claims, ongoing appeals, or unresolved issues that require you to interact with the SSA, this matters enormously, especially right now in this transition window. This is the section I really need you to pay attention to because there are concrete steps you can take today to protect yourself and make sure you're not caught off guard when this new system goes live. First, and most importantly, if you have any open issues with the SSA, any pending claims, any appeals, any benefit corrections that need to happen, or any appointments that have not yet been scheduled, act right now. Do not wait. File whatever you need to file online at SSA.gov, if at all possible. If you need an in-person appointment, call your local office today and get that appointment scheduled before March 7th, while the local scheduling system is still in place. Think of it like getting to the doctor before a big snowstorm. You want to get in while things are still running the way you're used to. Second, create or log into your My Social Security online account at SSA.gov. I know some of you would rather not deal with the internet, and I completely understand, but having that online account gives you direct access to your benefit information, your payment history, your COLA notice, and the ability to manage many of your benefits without ever having to call or visit an office. Given that the SSA is expecting fewer in-person visits in 2026, having that account set up now could save you enormous amounts of time and frustration later. If you have a grandchild, a trusted neighbor, or a friend at church who can help you set it up, please reach out to them. Third, verify all of your contact information with the SSA. Your current address, your phone number, your direct deposit banking details. When systems change, the last thing you want is for critical notices about your benefits to go to an old address, or for a payment to bounce because your banking info is outdated. This is a simple step that takes maybe 10 minutes, but it can prevent a lot of headaches down the road. Now, let's shift gears for a moment, because I don't want this whole video to feel heavy or discouraging. There is genuinely good news to share with you, and it involves your monthly check amount right now in 2026. Thanks to the annual cost of living adjustment, the COLA, Social Security benefits increased by 2.8% in January 2026. For the average retiree, that translates to roughly an additional $56 per month. Now, $56 might not sound like a life-changing amount, but when you're on a fixed income and prices at the grocery store keep climbing, every dollar counts. And here's something encouraging. The current year-over-year inflation rate is running at about 2.2%, which means the 2026 COLA is actually slightly outpacing inflation for now. That's a rare situation, and it means your purchasing power this year is technically a little bit better than it was last year. For SSI recipients, the 2026 maximum federal benefit has gone up to $994 per month for individuals and $491 per month for eligible couples. If you're on SSI and you haven't seen a bump in your check since January, please review your payment history and contact the SSA because you should be receiving more than you were last year. I do want to flag one thing that some of you may have noticed already, and it's important. Medicare Part B premiums also increased in 2026. And for Social Security recipients who have Medicare, those premiums come straight out of your monthly check before it ever reaches your bank account. So while your gross benefit went up by 2.8%, your net take-home increase may be smaller than you expected. If you haven't reviewed your new net benefit amount since January, please do that today. Log into your My Social Security account or check the mailed COLA notice you should have received. Now I want to talk about something that affects a very specific group of you watching right now. And that group is bigger than you might think. I'm talking about teachers, firefighters, police officers, postal workers, and other public sector employees whose Social Security benefits were historically reduced because of two rules called the Windfall Elimination Provision and the Government Pension Offset. The Social Security Fairness Act, which was signed into law in early 2025, eliminated both of those rules. That was a massive victory for hundreds of thousands of Americans who had been receiving less than their fair share for years. Many of you received retroactive lump sum payments last year to make up for the benefits you had been shortchanged. And if you haven't yet received your retroactive payment or seen your monthly benefit corrected, please contact the SSA because you may be owed money. Now, here's the part that I really need to flag because it could affect your tax situation this spring. Those retroactive payments may be considered taxable income by the IRS. That means if you received a lump sum last year as part of the Fairness Act corrections, you may see a higher tax bill or a smaller refund when you file your 2025 taxes. There is a proposed bill in Congress called the No Tax on Restored Benefits Act that would exempt those payments from taxation, but as of right now, it has not passed. So please talk to a tax professional if you received one of those retroactive payments. Do not assume it's tax-free. Get the right guidance so you're not blindsided. For those of you who are collecting Social Security but still working, maybe part-time, maybe seasonal, there is something critically important you need to know about the 2026 earnings limit because going over this threshold can trigger a benefit reduction that catches people completely off guard. If you have not yet reached your full retirement age, which is age 67 for anyone born in 1960 or later, there is a cap on how much you can earn while still collecting full Social Security benefits. In 2026, that limit is $24,480 for the year. For every $2 you earn over that amount, the SSA will reduce your benefits by $1. So if you earn $30,000 this year and you're under full retirement age, the SSA will reduce your benefit checks by approximately $2,760 over the course of the year. That reduction can feel like a clawback if you weren't expecting it. And for many seniors on tight budgets, it creates real financial stress. Now, if you are in the year that you reach full retirement age, the limit is significantly higher, $65,160 for 2026, and the reduction formula is less severe, at $1 for every $3 over the limit. And once you have officially hit full retirement age, the cap disappears entirely. You can earn as much as you want without any impact on your benefits. But until that milestone, please pay attention to your earnings and plan carefully. For those of you who receive both Social Security and VA benefits, I want to touch on something that is worth keeping in mind as we move through 2026. VA benefits and Social Security are entirely separate programs, and changes to one generally do not affect the other. Your VA compensation or pension is not counted as income for the purposes of the Social Security earnings test, and the two programs do not offset each other under normal circumstances. That said, if you receive SSI in addition to either Social Security or VA benefits, the way your income is counted can be complex. SSI has strict income and resource limits, and any increase in your other benefits, including your COLA increase, may slightly reduce your SSI payment due to how SSI calculates combined income. It's worth doing a quick review of your full benefits picture to make sure everything is adding up the way it should. One of the smartest things any senior can do right now is sit down, either alone or with a trusted family member or financial advisor, and map out every source of income you receive. Social Security, SSI, SSDI, VA benefits, pension payments, and any part-time earnings. Understanding exactly how those sources interact and where the thresholds are can help you make smarter decisions about things like when to claim benefits, whether to keep working, and how to avoid unexpected reductions. My friends, I want you to close out this video feeling informed, not anxious. Yes, March 7th brings a big administrative change to the Social Security Administration, and yes, there are legitimate concerns about what it might mean for the people who need help most. But knowledge is power. And now that you know what's coming, you can take the steps to protect yourself. Review your benefit amount. Set up or check your My Social Security account online. Resolve any pending issues before March 7th. Understand how the COLA increase affects your take-home pay after Medicare premiums. Know your earnings limits if you're still working. And if you received a retroactive payment from the Social Security Fairness Act, please talk to a tax professional before you file. You have worked your whole life to earn these benefits. You deserve to receive every single dollar that's owed to you, and you deserve to receive it on time, without confusion and without unnecessary delay. That's why we talk about these things together. If this video helped you today, please hit that like button and share it with someone you care about, a spouse, a neighbor, a friend from church, because there are people out there who need this information and simply don't know where to find it. And if you want to stay ahead of every Social Security update as it happens, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss a thing. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. You've earned it.